Yeah, so that was, you caught us talking about plums, guys. Coolie plum time. That was a
Oh,
great rewind performance from George Nooks. Now, on April 14, 2020, Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced that there would be a 7-day lockdown for the parish of St. Catherine as a result of a rise in coronavirus cases. However, with only 2 days allowed for shopping and only essential workers allowed to move freely, some persons are finding it difficult to cope. Joining us now is His Worship the Mayor, Leon Thomas. Good morning, Your Worship. How are you this morning?
Good morning. Good morning, Delia.
And Simone
Good
is with me
morning,
as well.
Simone.
hello,
Yeah.
Mr.
And
Mayor.
good
How are
morning
you?
to your viewers.
All right, so I was on the street on Saturday. I can tell you what was my experience, but I want to find out from you what has been the feedback from the residents and what happened on Saturday. We were told that hours would have been extended. Did that help the issues that happened on Wednesday?
The announcement of the time, Delia had come a little late, and plenty of the business operator did not know that the time was extended.
Right.
It started out as early as 6 o'clock, where you have people started to form lines. The time for the senior citizens did not work because we have young people started to join the line from early in the morning.
Right.
So the seniors did not get the opportunity to get any food at that time. It became a chaos going around looking what was happening. The crowd continued to grow larger and larger. Even some of the street you could not access anywhere at all because it was blocked. The Western Union was closed. One MoneyGram was open at one time. It has to close. Then police and soldiers tried to assist to see if the resident could get access to funds. So it was a total chaos. The
And those
entire
and those remittance places were closed by order of government, no?
No, I don't think the government closed them. I think that the operators did not
Decided to
open them.
close.
I'm not quite sure that's actually.
No, because they were open in Spanish Town. So I think just the people, some of them, it's like gas stations. There are some gas stations that were open. Some proprietors decided not to open.
But I think some remittance wherever was closed. I know there were some issues, some orders given to close some locations. So we'd have to look into that a little bit more. So, Mr. Mayor, how are we going to move forward? Given all that you've just outlined, obviously there are some gaps and some opportunities to make things a little better for the citizens in Portmore, especially the seniors. How do we move forward to try and fix some of the things that we've seen happening?
Well, I am going to have a conversation with Senior Superintendent Blair this morning, and I am going to also make contact with the post missus at the various post office where the pensioners should be collecting their pension between this week going into next week, and see how best we can arrange that we don't have that large gathering at the post offices. And you know that our senior citizens are the most vulnerable persons that we have. So we are going to put some plans in place to see how we can control that part of it. But going forward with the announcement that the Prime Minister has made to extend the shopping day to one more day, that is something that I welcome. I was asking for that before the chaos on Saturday. So we are going to now sit down and we are going to plan how we are going to structure the thing that we can have a smooth flow. But we would want the MoneyGram and the Western Union and the ATM machines to up because people have to go there, get the money, then go and buy food. And with those long lines when only one open at the cash, we don't want that to happen again. So we're appealing to them to make these entity open. So
Mayor,
we are going to have a discussion today.
one of the things I'm hoping you'll raise in the discussion is who monitors what happens. And I'll tell you why I'm saying this. Because as you said, there was a time for senior citizens, but young persons came out during the senior citizens' time. There was a time for persons whose surnames were A to whatever.
A to
People
M.
with surname W came out. And so what happened was you had just everybody out at one time as opposed to the structured. And when I asked people, how come you were out? I said, nobody never asked me for my ID or nobody never asked me. So I don't know if it's the stores that are serving people who should be the ones to say, we can't serve you, or if it should, well, it can't be the police, it's a lot of people. But I think, and you can tell me your own opinion, I thought that was one of the major issues on Saturday.
I think one of the problems is that people fear that food will finish by the time they get to their name.
Yeah.
So everybody came out. So the matter in regarding to the alphabetical order that they should shop, that is something that I am going to also discuss with the police this morning to see how best they can monitor that part. And the thing is, Delia, I think that the police need a little more help. Some more police could come and assist, because Saturday you can see that the police were stretched.
Yes.
Because a place like Portmore with over 200,000 people and 8 supermarkets and about 9 wholesales, you have a lot of corner shops, right? That is not enough
Yeah.
for so much people on one day.
Yeah. I'm looking at, sometimes I hear people talk, and it's easy to talk if you're not in a situation. Right now on the screen, we're looking at images of people, and I stood up in the line, and I'm telling you, to stand in the sun with a mask on your face
Yeah.
in a line for an excess of 2 to 3 hours is not a good experience.
Was there social distancing there?
Yes,
Okay,
there was some, but I'm saying after a while, after 2 hours of the sun kick in,
Especially if you're otherwise ill, or if you're
Yeah.
older, or you
after
into it.
after 2 hours of the sun kick in, the temptation is to try and find the shade, try and move up a little closer, try and see if you can force people to hurry up. So Mayor, it really is a logistic nightmare.
Maybe there are opportunities
That we
there
have
for
to
tents
solve.
or other kind of coverings for the people who are waiting outside in the sun. Is that a possibility, Mayor?
Well, for large supermarkets, I am expecting them to maybe erect some tents. These are suggestions that we are going to throw out there to see how best we can accommodate some of our senior citizens, because for seniors to go out there and stand in the sun and wearing a mask for a long period of time, it is going to be very uncomfortable. So we are going to see how that part of it can work out. It is something that we were having a little talk Saturday, myself and the senior soup.
Yes.
And we are going to see how we can persuade some of our supermarkets and wholesale people if they can erect some tents.
Is there a possibility, Mayor, of extending, bringing in security teams? So where the police are stretched, to hire security companies and say, okay, we're going to put you at some pharmacies, we're going to put you at some supermarkets, and your job is going to be to assist the police in when people come to the door, making sure their surnames are right, do the temperature checks. Is that something that the government could look at, bringing in private security teams?
It's a possibility that they could look at that aspect of it because that will help significantly.
Yeah.
If we don't have the policemen and women
We do have
or
them. We do have them. Poor soul
the
them.
soldiers to come in,
Yes.
but we could engage private security company to assist also.
Yes. All right. I have to ask. There's a call center in Portmore that's at least 90 cases. I heard estimate is 95 so far out of what's been happening with COVID-19. We still have other call centers in the municipality. What is the approach as it relates to the other call centers? Are they closed? Are we reinforcing even stricter measures? What happens?
Well, the Prime Minister made the announcement for the call centers to be closed in Portmore.
Okay.
Over the weekend, I observed that the other call centers was closed. There is some bit of sketchy information about some call centers, which we are going to go there today. Myself and the police will be going there today to observe if they are in operation.
Okay, well, based on what you just said, I doubt there will be. Okay, so a couple more discussions to be had. Your worship is what I hear you saying. Couple more, what you call it now, plans to be made to try and see if we can effect this and make it work a little better for the folks in Portmore. I'm getting word that the order that the government put out did not include money services as a part of essential services to be opened in Portmore, which is why they were closed.
Okay.
I think after everything started, I think perhaps an attempt was made to try and ease some of it because it got really bad. So that is why, Mr. Mayor, and I understand that the PM says he's going to look into opening, because when you think about it, remittances for some people now are their only source of quote-unquote income, and so it's important. But that's the reason why the money services establishments were closed, because it was not included in the order as an essential service. So I hope that will fix. Go ahead, yes.
I want to raise one more thing with you, Mayor. Because I saw a conversation where they're saying, when you say, go and shop and get what you need, and you have 2 days, that some people are able to do so, but there are some people who literally leave their house in the morning and go and earn for that day what will feed them in the evening. I don't know if you have the demographics in Portmore, but for the people who are in that kind of situation, which probably also added to the run-on Wednesday and Saturday, how are we going to assist them in making sure that they survive this process? And we have a lot of seniors. You and I were talking about that before we went on air. What are some of the plans for them?
Well, Delia, we have a lot of cases like that in Portmore that they don't have any money to shop.
Yeah.
And they face it as a serious problem. One of the things is that we, from the Portmore Municipal Council and also the Member of Parliament, we are trying to put some packages together. We have collect some names from our community leaders already for some of our shop teams, and we are going to deliver some care packages to them.
Okay. All right, sir. You got your work cut out for you. It's my community, so, I really have to hope for all the best. I know people can stay outside and look in, but when you're in and having to experience it and talking to the people in the community, it really is a challenge.
Yeah, I'm sure. All the best to you, Mr. Mayor, as you work out the plans.
And also, I must say to you that in sanitation, part of the job continue. We are going to sanitize our corner shops and supermarket front where the line is supposed to be, because we have to continue to sanitize to make certain that if the virus is there, we can remove the virus and better prepared for Wednesday.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Your Worship.
You're most welcome.
Mayor of Portmore there, His Worship Leon Thomas. What a tough situation. And Portmore is the largest community in the Caribbean.
In the Caribbean.
Woo!
In the Caribbean.
That's a
And I
tough-
mean, we're saying Portmore, but I have to remind myself it's St. Catherine.
Yes, so Linstead,
Spanish Town, Old Harbor.
Old Harbor.
It's a lot. It's
Yeah.
a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I don't think we have the police personnel, which is why I was suggesting now might be the time to engage private security teams and see how they can come in and help to break the back of it.
It's a tough situation, girlie.
It is. It
All right,
is.
we'll take a break on Smile. We'll be right back.